Welcome back to more conversions of metric and household units. So we're going to start with a couple of word problems. And again, with word problems, you've got to determine what you want or what the question is asking for, what you need from the question, and what you don't need. So the first key is always to read the question all the way through and determine what it's asking for first. So we have an infant's head circumference is 40.5 centimeters. How many millimeters does that equal? So we're going to convert the 40.5 centimeters because it's wanting to know how many milliliters. So I'm going to convert the centimeters to milliliters. So I'm going to have 40.5 centimeters is going to equal how many milliliters. So we're going to use the dimensional analysis just like we did in the last video. We need to remember, not milliliters, millimeters. Okay, so we're going to remember our conversion. 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So we're going to start, we're looking for millimeters. What we're given, what we know, is 40.5 centimeters, and that always goes over 1, times our conversion. So since centimeters is on top, centimeters will go to the bottom, and millimeters will go to the top. So according to my conversion, it's 10 millimeters to 1 centimeter. And then I'm going to cancel my units of measure. And then I'm going to multiply straight across. So I get 40.5 times 10. So since I'm multiplying times 10, I'm just moving my decimal one place to the right. So that gives me 405 millimeters. So the baby's head is 405 millimeters around, or it has a circumference of 405 millimeters. What I want to know is the millimeters though in the answer. So let's look at 23. We have a patient's wound measures 32 millimeters. That should be millimeters, that's a typo. So patient's wound measures 32 millimeters. How many centimeters is the patient's wound? So this time I'm going to go from 32 millimeters to how many centimeters, because it's wanting to know how many centimeters. So we're measuring it, they measured it in millimeters first. Alright, so we're using the same conversion. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. Set it up with dimensional analysis. So I'm looking for centimeters this time. I'm looking for millimeters up there. Alright. So I start with the 32 millimeters over 1 times my conversion. Millimeters on top, so millimeters goes to the bottom. Centimeters go to the top. Doesn't matter how you've got your conversion written out. It matters what you start with. Because whatever unit you start with automatically goes to the bottom. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. And then I want to cancel my millimeters. So I have, when I multiply straight across, 32 over 10. So if I divide 32 by 10, I'm taking that decimal that comes behind this number and I'm moving it one place to the left. So I will end up with 3.2 centimeters. So the patient's wound is 3.2 centimeters long. So let's scroll on down and look at, these are household conversions, which the other word problems were also household conversions, but these are just straight conversions. And we have to go back, and again, it's in the front of your textbook. I'll go back to look at a couple of videos before that has the metric to household conversions, or the household to household conversions. So in this problem. Get it up there a little bit farther. So I'm converting 2 fluid ounces to milliliters. I'm going to change colors. I'm getting tired of red. So I'm looking for milliliters. So I start with X milliliters. And then I'm given 2 fluid ounces, so FLOZ, and that goes over 1 times my conversion. So fluid ounces goes on the bottom, because that's what I started with, and I'm looking for milliliters. Now if you go back and look, what's my conversion? How many milliliters or how many fluid ounces do I have? So if you look, I've got 30 milliliters for 1 fluid ounce. Again, cancel your units of measure so that fluid ounces will cancel. Leaves me with milliliters. And so I'm going to multiply 2 times 30, and I'm going to get 60 milliliters. So I have 60 milliliters. 2 fluid ounces equals 60 milliliters. Let's go over here to 25, and let's convert 75 inches to centimeters. So again, I'm looking for centimeters, so that goes here with X centimeters. I've been given 75 inches, so it goes on top. That goes over 1 times my conversion. So this is one of those odd conversions. Remember, inches is greater than centimeters. Oops, let's do this first. Inches is on top, so inches goes on bottom, and I'm looking for centimeters. Okay, so inches is larger than centimeters, so 1 inch equals the 2.5 centimeters. Whatever smaller gets the numbers. So I have 2.5 over 1. So I'm going to cancel my inches, and that leaves me with centimeters. And I'm going to go over here because I can't do it in my head. So 75 times 2.5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35. And 2 makes that 37. And then my placeholder, 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, my 1, 2 times 7 is 14. And 1 is 15. I've got, sad. I'm getting out of track here. 7, 8, 1. I've got 1 decimal place, so I'm going to go over 1 place. So that will give me 187.5 centimeters. So 75 inches is 185 centimeters. If you notice, it's 2.5 is what I'm multiplying for, so I'm multiplying by 2.5. So it's going to be more than double that 75. Do they need to go potty, or do they need to get a drink or something? Apologize. Sorry for that comment. My puppies, my brand new puppies, they're only like 5 weeks old, were fussing, and I had to go take care of them. Okay, so let's go back to our conversions. And so I'm converting now 45 milliliters to teaspoons. So I'm going to go from metric to household. So again, I start out though with what I'm looking for. I'm looking for teaspoons, and then whatever I'm given, the 45 milliliters over 1 times my conversion. So since milliliters is on top, milliliters goes to the bottom, and then teaspoons will go over on the top. So if we'll remember, there are 3 teaspoons and 30, no, I'm saying this wrong. Sorry, having a brain fart here. Or blonde moment, whatever you want to call it. Senior moment. 1 teaspoon is 15 milliliters. Okay, so I'm going to cancel. Milliliters cancels milliliters. And then when we were multiplying fractions, remember I told you you can cancel across the multiplication sign? So I can look at these, they both end in 5. So I know 5 goes into them. But I also know that 3 times 15 gives me 45. So 15 goes into 15 one time. 15 goes into 45 3 times. So now all I have to do is multiply 3 times 1 and I get 3. And I got 1 times 1 on the bottom, so I don't have to worry about that. So I have 3 teaspoons in 45 milliliters. So that's my answer. Now, if you hadn't wanted to do the canceling, you could have done 45 by 1, 1 times 15, and done 45 over 15, and got the same answer. So 27. We are going to convert 66 pounds to kilograms. So we're going again from household to metric, and I'm going to convert to pounds to kilograms. So kilograms is bigger, so it's 1 kilogram. And then we remember, if inches is 2.5, pounds is 2.2. It's smaller. So 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. That's what we got to remember. Remember, you're looking for kilograms. I'm given the 66 pounds over 1 times, and then my pounds is on top, so pounds go on bottom, and kilograms will go on top. Then my conversion, 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds. Now I can cancel my units of measure, but I also know, and I can reduce. And 2.2, or 2 will go into 2.2, and 2 will go into 66. So 2 goes into 2.2 1.1 times. 2 goes into 66 33 times. So that gives me, I still have to divide a little bit here, but 33 divided by 1.1. Now, when I divide that out, I'm going to have to get rid of the decimal in the denominator. So I'm going to move that decimal 1 place to the right, which means that I have to move the decimal numerator 1 place to the right. So that gives me 330 divided by 11, which gives me 110 kilograms. I think it's time for me to stop and go to bed, because I multiplied right here instead of dividing, because 330 divided by 11 is 30, not 300, or not 110. So it's 30 kilograms. Kilograms is larger than pounds, so there's going to be less kilograms than there are pounds. So let's do a few more of these, and then I'll call it a night. So we're going to convert 40 centimeters to inches, and remember, in 1 inch is 2.5 centimeters. So to convert 40 centimeters to inches, remember I'm looking for inches. I'm given the 40 centimeters over 1 times my conversion. Centimeters is on top, so centimeters goes to the bottom. Inches go to the top. So 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters. Cancel my units of measure. That leaves me in inches. So I'm going to have 40 divided by 2.5, and that's going to be in inches. So I've got to move my decimal over, which means I move my decimal over and add a 0. So now I have 400 divided by 25. Okay, I can look at that as $4 and divided by 25 cents. How many quarters is in $4? Well, there's 4 quarters in $1. So 4 times 4 gives me 16. So there's 16 inches and 40 centimeters. So remember, inches is larger than centimeters, so there's fewer inches than there are centimeters. All right, 29. I want to convert 1.5 fluid ounces to teaspoons. Okay. So I'm looking for teaspoons. I have 1.5 fluid ounces, which goes over 1, times my conversion, since I have fluid ounces on top, and I have fluid ounces on bottom, and teaspoons on top. Now, remember our conversion. There's 30. I did that again. Stuck on 30 here. 1 teaspoon is 15 fluid ounces. So my fluid ounces cancel. So I have 1.5 over 15, which gives me 0.1 teaspoons, if I did that right. Right. If you need to use a calculator to do the division, that's fine. Just remember that you have to set up the problem. And you do get to use calculators on this, though I wish you would really do the canceling and do a lot of this in your head. It's so much faster once you get the hang of it. Alright, I'm going to stop here, and then we'll pick up back up with number 30 next time.